What's up, everybody? Welcome back to my humble little YouTube channel. I hope everybody's doing well today. I know I start every video off saying how honored and humbled and excited I am to have everybody with me, and I know it probably gets a little bit old, but as of this very minute, I am 45 minutes away from Thanksgiving starting, and you know, I am thankful for you guys. The truth of the matter is, influencers are nothing without their followers, and in actuality, I owe you everything. This channel exists because of you. So, in the spirit of Thanksgiving and letting you guys know how much you matter to me, I have given you full control over this video. On my Instagram, I said, ask me questions that you want answered on this next YouTube video. I got tons of responses and I'm going to answer 7 of them. So, this will be interesting. Let's go. Starting off with question number 1, you have $250 cash to spend. I like it. What 5 fragrances are you buying to cover all bases? This is an amazing question. So I've got 5 fragrances right here. It's going to cover every season. It's going to cover a number of different occasions. So first one is going to be an easy reach day or night, any time of year fragrance. It is my favorite blue fragrance. It's YSL Eau de Parfum. It is a clean and sweet shower gel fragrance. It costs about $100 for this 100 milliliter bottle, but it pulls tons of compliments. It performs incredibly well, and this is the most expensive one on this list. Number 2 is going to be our formal occasion fragrance. It is Ferragamo F Black. At $25 for 100 milliliters, this fragrance packs a punch. It is like a powdery and light Dior Sauvage that you can wear for church, you can wear for the office, for job interviews. It's got bergamot, lavender, and some patchouli and ambroxan. Great fragrance right here for the price. Number 3 is your bad boy night out fall wintertime fragrance, Azzaro Wanted by Night. It's about $50 for a 100 milliliter bottle. This has notes of cinnamon, tobacco, some vanilla, and mandarin orange. I absolutely love this fragrance. It was one of my first. Number 4 is going to be your warm weather fragrance, spring, summer, daytime. It is John Varvatos Artisan Pure. This one is a very unique smelling fragrance. It smells like cut grass with a little bit of citrus thrown in there. I absolutely love this one. It's about $50-$60 for 100 milliliters, and it's going to make you stand out during the winter or during the summertime. And lastly is going to be your romantic scent for your date nights. It is going to be Halloween Man X. This is a gourmand with things like coffee and chocolate found in this fragrance. It's about $35 for this 100 milliliter bottle. That was a good question, and that was a lot of fun. I hope you liked it. Buy some of these. Question number 2. When are you coming to New Zealand? Yes! You guys thought I was just going to pick fragrance-based questions. You were sorely mistaken, my friends. Remember, this is me being thankful for you, my followers. This comes from one of my followers named Karen, who lives in New Zealand, and I love this man. He and I have grown very, very close. I remember a couple of years ago when my grandmother passed away, and I was dealing with the funeral. It was my last grandparent left alive. She passed away, and I spoke with Karen on the phone for about 45 minutes, all the way on the other side of the ocean, and he and I have just grown close. I love him. I love his family so much, and I am honored that he is a part of my life, and he just started off as a follower of mine. I'm telling you, this is what I love to do, man. So Karen, as soon as I can get paid with this channel and get a little extra money, I would be more than happy to come over to New Zealand to see you. But in the meantime, you can come over to Florida too, man. I'd love to have you. Moving right along to question number 3, I cannot tell you how happy this question makes me because it speaks to me as a nerd. Which fragrances do you think Batman, Legolas, Han Solo, and Maverick would suit? I love each and every one of these characters. So starting off with the Dark Knight himself, we are going Bulgari Man in Black. Makes sense, right? This is a great bad boy scent made specifically for the evenings. It's got leather, it's got rum, it's got tobacco, giving that edgy feel, but it's also got some hints of some florals in there that wraps it all together. Because remember, underneath all of that body armor is Bruce Wayne, one of the richest men alive, and he's going to have a little sophistication to him no matter what he's wearing. But Bulgari Man in Black goes to Batman. Next up, Legolas. He is the beautiful, he is the elegant elf of Lord of the Rings. Light on his feet, pristine. He gets Tiziana Terenzi's Spirito Fiorentino. Now this one is very, very similar to Baccarat Rouge 540, which is a bright unisex fragrance that does lean a little bit more feminine. But for this one in the dry down goes a little bit more masculine with a nice hit of leather in there. This one is elegant. This one is beautiful. It goes to Legolas. Number 3, Han Solo. He doesn't need a lot of frills. He doesn't need a lot of glamour to be a complete badass. He gets Bentley Intense for Men. Bentley for Men Intense, rather, okay? Not expensive, not flashy, but definitely a bad boy fragrance through and through. It's got some of those boozy notes in there and some light woody notes as well. Just, it speaks to Han Solo's personality, absolutely. And then finally, Maverick. We all know Maverick because he just has that sexy leather jacket and rides that bike, but it's not a dirty type of leather jacket. He does have a little sophistication to him as well. He gets Tom Ford Ombre Leather. Tom Ford Ombre Leather is that clean leather jacket fragrance. It's not the dirty one like Tuscan leather is. This one is just like you pulled the leather jacket right off of the rack, threw it on your shoulders, and then rode off, okay? Very, very reminiscent of Maverick right here. There you go, my nerd question. Here we go with question number 4. Chris, it's from Chris. Are you wearing eyeliner? Man, it's okay. So this is a question from a really great friend of mine that lives in the UK. I've gotten to know him over the last few months as well. What a great and amazing man that is. And he has an amazing family as well. I've gotten to speak to his daughters before. It's just, man, such an honor to be able to have gotten to know him based on him seeing my channel as well, man. That's, like I said, this is what I do. But back to the question. No, I don't wear eyeliner. But random fact about Jesse is that I have been a musician since I was 8 years old. And in my early 20s, I was in a hard rock band that did nothing, absolutely nothing, but we were in a band and I experimented with eyeliner then, and it was a huge mistake. I looked terrible. I think I wore it twice and I just couldn't stand to look at myself in the mirror. And these days, it just wouldn't fit. My eyes are already saggy as can be. I look high. I think I look high. And plus, I've got just this terrible skin complexion. You know, I've got divots and scars all over my face from having incredibly bad acne when I was a teenager. So, yeah, no eyeliner, just the regular eyes from old Uncle Jesse. That's it. Next up for question number 5, maybe a video about holiday fragrance gifting. Absolutely yes. And this is a very important thing to talk about now that Christmas is coming up. But before I do want to talk a little bit about the person that left this question. You see, I've gotten to know them a little bit over the last year or so. They just went through their second surgery to correct a very scary medical condition. If you are watching this, I hope you know how much I love you. I've been praying so hard for you. I have friends that are praying for you. You have not been alone in this fight, and I just want you to know how much I love you and appreciate you being with me. So let's get on to the question. So when it comes to purchasing fragrances as Christmas gifts, I'm not gonna lie, it's a pretty scary prospect because preferences are so different from person to person. So we need to purchase things that are inoffensive and that are not overly complex. So the first one's going to be Mont Blanc Explorer, a really good a really good versatile fragrance for nights. It can be used for formal occasions. It's got that Creed Aventus vibe with a little citrus, a little bit of woody notes in there, and it's not too terribly expensive if you shop online. So pick up some Mont Blanc Explorer. Number 2, Ferragamo Aqua Essential Blue. This one is inexpensive, $35-$40 for this 100 milliliter bottle, but this one is a blue fragrance. It's clean, it's soapy, it's fresh, and I like this one actually more than Bleu de Chanel Eau de Parfum. But this one is a great purchase for the price, for the size. And then finally, one of the best-selling summer fragrances in the designer market, Dolce & Gabbana Light Blue Eau Intense. It is aquatic. It's almost like salt water, but it's a little bit musky as well. And that muskiness actually adds a little bit of maturity to it, and helps, if you're a bigger guy, helps a little bit with controlling odors from perspiration, okay? Dolce & Gabbana Light Blue Eau Intense, it's about $75 or $80. It depends on what size you get, but this one is a fantastic buy for summer freshies. All right, there you go. Great Christmas presents here. Question number 6. Best way to get into niche. This is a really, really important thing to understand, because a lot of people get the idea that if you're going to be serious about collecting fragrances, or if you're going to have a really badass fragrance collection, that you have to have a niche fragrance in there. That's not the case. But when you're exploring the idea, you have to understand a couple of things. Number 1, price does not always equal quality. So you have to make sure you know what you're getting, because some of these $250 bottles can actually suck. Also, you need to make sure that you understand that some of these scent profiles are going to be very, very different. They're not going to be what you expect, those, those natural head turners that are in the designer world, those compliment getters that are typically found in the designer world, okay? So what I recommend is 2 things. Number 1, try purchasing a clone first. See if you like what they offer. And then number 2, find an inexpensive niche for your first purchase. A good clone I would recommend is Club de Nuit Intense Man from Armaf. This is the most popular clone of Creed Aventus on the market, and it only costs about $30. And I really do enjoy this. This is the Eau de Toilette. The Eau de Parfum is supposed to smell even better and more closely related to the Creed Aventus than this one is. But this is a fantastic purchase if you want to experience Creed Aventus without paying the $350 price tag. The second one is going to be an inexpensive and sort of a complex niche fragrance. It is Mancera Oud Lemon Mint. I have talked about this one before, but I'm going to talk about it again. This is not your typical fresh summertime fragrance. It does have that woody feel in there. The lemon in here is very pronounced, but when you get into the mint is going to be mint leaves. It's not like that cooling spearmint type thing that you're going to be, get out of a Tic Tac or a piece of gum, okay? So this one is a very complex fragrance in its scent profile, but it's about $85 for 120 milliliters. That's a really great price for a niche fragrance, as it's cheaper than a lot of designers. So consider those. Here we are at the last question. First cologne you ever owned? Man, I love this question. It's so simple, but I love talking about it. And so the first colognes I ever bought, I actually bought 3, and they all came in the mail at the same time. But this particular one is the one that I smelled first, and it's something that I think everybody should have in their collection. Nautica Voyage. Plain and simple. It is really easy to like. It smells like the ocean, man. Who doesn't like the smell of the ocean? It's salty, it's aquatic, it's fresh. It lasts like 6 to 7 hours, and it costs anywhere between $18 and $25, depending on where you find it. Now, there are some people out there, and I get it, by the way, there are some people out there that says, well, it has a very synthetic scent profile. And I can see that, okay? We can be honest, I can see that, but synthetic feel, I think, can actually add to the character of a fragrance. Not everything has to be super unique, okay? There are sometimes that things can smell like the others and they still smell good. And I think this is one of them. You don't need the Nautica Voyage Sport, You don't need the Nautica Voyage Heritage or the N83, even though the N83 is awesome. You know, get the OG, man. It's one of the best-selling fragrances on Amazon for a reason, okay? So this one was the first cologne I ever owned. So there we are, guys. Man, that was a fun video. I loved answering some of these questions. If you asked some questions and I didn't get a chance to get to them, I do apologize. I promise, though, that we will be doing more of these types of videos in the future. So stick around on my Instagram. Follow me on there. Follow me on all my stuff, man. The TikTok. I've got a Twitter, which I don't usually use for fragrance. I just kind of bullcrap on it. But find me on all my stuff, man. I'd love to have you, but I cannot tell you guys how thankful I am for each and every one of you, man. I would not be who I am as an influencer if it were not for each and every one of you. I am so grateful for you. So happy Thanksgiving. Be sure that you take care of yourselves. Take care of one another. That sounded like Jerry Springer. But please take care of yourselves. Hold your loved ones close. Hold your friends close. And remember that Jesse is here for each and every one of you this holiday season. Be blessed, and I'll see you next time.